Hello and welcome to a Reigate Maths video. My name's Simon and in this video we're going to be looking at the planarity topic in the second year of the Decision 1 unit for further maths. This video is just going to look at some properties of planar graphs as well as defining what planarity is. The second video is going to look at an example of what a planar graph is. So, what is planarity? Well, a graph is planar if it can be drawn with no arcs intersecting except at vertices. And this applies to networks as well. So if we look at, for instance, the complete graph K4. So we've got 4 vertices. And remember, the complete graph, you join every vertex to every other vertex. Now here, we do have every single arc drawn. But we can see here that the point of intersection of these two arcs isn't a vertex. However, we can draw this graph in a slightly different way. So we've got the same connections here, but if we draw this arc on the outside, these are still both the complete graph with 4 vertices. But you can see here that we have no arcs crossing except at the 4 vertices. Now that doesn't mean that this graph is not planar, and this one is. Both graphs are planar because these are equivalent. These are the same graph, just drawn in different ways. So the graph K4 is planar. If we look at the graph of K5, however, so we've got our 5 vertices. 5 vertices. Doesn't matter that I haven't drawn it a regular shape. That's fine. We've got our 5 vertices here. Then we're just going to draw all the connections. Like that. Now the planarity algorithm that we're going to look at in the next video is a way to figure out if a graph is planar or if a graph is not. And effectively what it does is it starts by drawing an outline for any graph or network and then taking vertices and moving them outside, taking arcs and moving them either outside or drawing them inside. So if we draw this one on the outside, we lose it from here. If we draw this one on the outside, we lose it from here. We now have no points of intersection with this arc. This arc here still has a point of intersection here. But if we try and move it outside, it's still going to have a point of intersection here. So regardless of where we put this arc, there's always going to be a point of intersection that isn't a vertex. So K5 is not planar. And that's kind of the concept. Planarity is really useful for things like making circuit boards, where you don't want your kind of connections crossing each other except at the points you want. So being able to draw a graph in this way is really useful. And it's also very useful to find out if you can do it or not. Now, if you can't, there are other ways around it. Planarity only works in 2 dimensions, so both of these, hence the name planar, both of these graphs are drawn on a single plane. So if you start thinking about things in 3 dimensions, the idea of planarity goes a bit weird and isn't a concept anymore. Because it's planar, because it means can be drawn in a single plane. That's the basics of the planarity concept. The next video will be looking at the planarity algorithm and an example of doing that. Thank you for watching.